Good morning. Today, I'm feeling fairly reflective as I go through the process of basically understanding what's true in my life and what isn't. And I learned last week that my soon to be ex husband filed for divorce, and he did so kind of on a sneaky basis. And what he was looking to do is get 30 days and get it all his way. And he wanted to reduce my income down to 1,000 a month, 570, which he would pay my medical insurance so that his kids don't look at him and go, "You're a dirtbag," and giving me $330 a month to live on, which of course isn't a formula that works at all. So, of course, my energy goes, "Oh my God, I want to panic. I want to be scared." But then I think, okay, how is the system itself going to see this really? How does the system want to see things like this? Well, he owes half of everything for starters. That's just the foundation. He can't get around that. So what did he do? He took the investment money and put it in a circumstance for which, if it is mine, I lose 40% for tax debt and expenses to get the money. So obviously, he didn't provide me with anything real. He provided me with what a narcissist would do, games. He likes to play games. And in addition to that, he and his brother had me care for his mother for many, many years. 11 years, which was intense, where I had her in my home, where I cooked for her, where I cleaned up after her, where I provided her medications, took her to doctor's appointments, drove her to and from the grocery store, sat in her car and waited for her while she grocery shopped, made sure that she had recreation and social communication and connection with others. At all times, made sure she was looked after. The two Her two sons, not willing, not able. And why did I do it? Well, because I felt like she needed it. But in addition, why were they pressing me to do it? Because, well, they thought she's not working. Well, I'm actually at a point where I realize I got schnooked. I got used at 15,000 a year at the very minimum for providing her good care. That's $165,000. And in the meantime, he wants to take our one home that we have a loan on that we owe very little, and he wants that house that provides him income, and he wants to cut me off. And so the greed here is rather gobsmacking, and I'm in no physical condition to deal with this. But I realize now what has been draining the hell out of my body and why my vital force has been so challenged. And so, with that being the backdrop, and of course, he's asked me not to make these videos, and he says that I need to come on and tell everybody that the whole 12 people that watch my videos, or however many, that I'm a liar and what I'm doing is just that lying, that I'm the one that's in bad shape. I'm the one that's misused and mistreated. And it's just amazing to me the projection here. Now, what happened? I went to school. I got basically a degree in astrology, and I'm continuing to work on my education through medical astrology because this is my calling. But the more I got into this, the less secure he was and is. And so he wants to have his freedom from me with me being committed to him. Now, he's claiming right now that he's looking for a chick. He's 65. He wants one that's 45 because he's such a virile man. So please do be careful out there, ladies. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably not something that is going to really be all that easy for him to pull off. But guess what else he wants? He wants an astrologer because he thinks they're groovy chicks. So, yeah, pretty gross, right? So let this be the record of truth, okay? So we're just going to ask the cards, will the courts take care of me, given I've taken care of everybody else? Will this work out for me? It's very troubling times for me. I've been very upset. I've been very scared, and I'm using one of my decks. I can't remember the name of this. I'll have to put it in my description of the video. But what do I get? I get the Two of Vessels, attraction. Okay, so yeah, we started out with this attraction, I being the empath, him being the narcissist, and we engaged in this relationship, if you will, that that was a contract over time that has meaning, and that I'm sure he'd like to forget that. He would like to just say to me, look, go away. You're not entitled to anything. I didn't get what I wanted when I told you I wanted it, so here we are. All right, I had a phone call, so I had to take that. And my next card, so I was at the Two of Vessels, and so that's like the Two of Cups. And the next one is Knight of Arrows, Hawk. Okay, and this is a really interesting card because one of the things that I've had in the past is a red-tailed hawk that was very much telling me back at a time when I was really troubled about some things and some being used, that he was watching, and that he was watching over me. And for a few years afterwards, he would fly over my house and caw daily at me. And then eventually my neighbor, who was highly inappropriate as a human in some ways, shot and killed him. So here it is. This is my red-tailed hawk. And it's kind of saying I'm in the energy of that red-tailed hawk, and that I will be looked after. And I will be looked after medically in every way. And this has been my fear, of course. I'm sick and he wants to pull insurance. I mean, the narcissist can be so ugly. There's no limit to how much they can ask for themselves at your expense, up to and including 11 years for his mom, and no recognition of what that took from me. My health went poorly afterwards. And so the final card is the Eight of Vessels, rebirth. For me, it's looking over the details and realizing what all has happened, how I really feel about it. But likewise, he will also be looking over the details and realizing maybe he wasn't so smart after all. And so, with that, please do consider hitting like, share, and subscribe, joining me and my lovely co-reader, Maha, and getting a reading from us. We are medical horary astrologers, basically finishing up with our first certification. We've got 5 more classes, I think. It's very much on the way through the pipeline. So, consider very much getting a reading, and I thank you so much for joining me here and following me. If you are going through a breakup, if you are dealing with a narcissist, tell me your story. Let's help each other. This stuff feels so lonely. I know it's not. I know I'm not alone, and I know you're not alone, but it doesn't always feel that way. Thank you for joining me.